Gonna apologize in advance for the background noise. Got laundry going and the AC and everything, so it's a little noisy, so sorry for the audio. Today we're covering everyday carry knives under $20. Just throwing out a few of my favorites here, just in case anybody is looking for some suggestions, you're poor as me, or you just want something cheap that you don't mind losing, banging up, scratching, whatever. So, starting right off the list, Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops SWA5CP. It's about $12.99 last I remember. You can get this in the AutoZone. I've seen it at Walmart, I believe. O'Reilly's. Online, there's a few places. It's a Tanto, however you pronounce it, chisel point, serrations. Very thin, very lightweight. Has a pocket clip that hangs really low in there, so it sits down pretty nice and subtle. You don't be walking around, you're swinging your hand by, and you ain't gonna snag it on the top of the knife there. Holds an edge fairly well. I mean, it's a cheap knife, so don't expect it to last forever without sharpening or anything. Doesn't come super sharp out of the box, but pretty sharp, reasonably so. And it does hold an edge fairly well. The only thing I don't really like about the edge on this is this. I don't really care for the Tanto blade point on these things because this angle is a little difficult to sharpen. I'm a kind of lazy guy. I use those little V-shaped sharpener type things because I'm just lazy. But anyways, pretty good knife. I mean, this was for a while my absolute favorite everyday carry knife, just because it's so easy to carry, very easy to open. Very good lockup. You can probably see the clip, the liner lock on there. Comes over all the way. Very secure, not hard to close. Just really nice. So that's first one. Another one, somewhat recent acquisition. It's a Smith & Wesson again. It's technically it's one of the Cuttin' Horse line. I think they changed this now recently to what's called the Gold Shield issue. And this one is a lockback, as you see. However, this one's a little unique in that it has not just one, but two blades. One of them is a serrated blade, as you see here, and the other is a plain edge. Now, the nice thing about this is some people don't really care for those combo edge blades like this one here. They just want all of one or the other, but sometimes you just need a good serrated blade. They're good for cutting open like cardboard boxes, like if you just want to saw a hole out of the box for some reason, or cutting through some rope or something, anything that's really hardcore like that. And also, of course, the plain edge is good for just simple everyday tasks, opening envelopes and such. So it's really handy in that sense. It's also really not that thick. I mean, even compared to this one, it's really not that much thicker. And the thumb studs on her, very easy to open. I mean, you can flick it out. It's doable. Closing, it's a little trickier because it is a lockback, so you do have to kind of make sure you keep your fingers out of the way, obviously. The way I do it, I just I'll lay it on my leg or something, and push it in, and then close it. That last little bit right there, it kind of closes itself, as lockbacks tend to do. Whereas this, it's liner lock. You just nudge a little bit, and then the rest of it's all, manual. Anyways, so very good option. It's got a pretty nice pocket clip on here. Doesn't sit real low, but also doesn't sit real high. Just kind of a nice in between there. Only really big gripe I have against this, it's got like a rubberized feel on the outside of this, on the scales on the side here. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's rubber coated or what, but it drags when you're trying to put it back in your pocket. It kind of drags in the material, so you almost kind of have to pull up on the clip, or you have to kind of shove it in there, whereas this, it just glides right back in your pocket, back into place. So and then pulling it out, it's not really a big issue, but it's just reinserting it's kind of a pain. So otherwise pretty good, and it's about the same price, about $12.99. Next up we have the Tomahawk Striker. This is kind of your old style stiletto design. Everybody calls it West Side Story, or your old mafia Italian stiletto kind of deal, but kind of goes on that deal, and it's sort of like a poor man's cold steel Ty-Lite in a way. It's really similar. It's got the same I don't know what you would call this, not really a wave feature per se, but it works about the same way. You snag it on your pocket while you're pulling it out, because it is a tip-up design, if you know where the orientation of the pocket clip there. But it's tip-up carry, you can snag that on the edge of your pocket there, and it can deploy. However, because this is rounded the other way, it's curved this way instead of this way, you have to really put a deliberate angle on it like this, as opposed to just dragging it straight, because if you just pull it across this way, you get nothing. It doesn't deploy. You have to really, you know, pull it in there. It's just, you get it with practice if you mess with it enough. However, even if you don't do it that way, I just use the thumb stud on here. And again, there's another little kind of unique thing to it, in that most of your other ones, like this one again, for example, most of them, they've got the thumb stud far enough down here where you just kind of push outward or even kind of upward with it, and it goes out that way. This one, you try and just push the same way, and you'll end up just about pulling your freaking thumbnail apart from your skin, because it doesn't want to go anywhere when you're pushing this way. You have to kind of more outward this way when you're thumbing it open. And it will come a little stiff from right out of the package, but once you put like a drop of any kind of gun oil on there, and you just play with it a little bit while watching a movie or something just to loosen it up, it comes out real easy. It's very nice, very good lockup. I really like the liner lock on this, because it's not only is it secure, but it has this kind of, if you can see, it's folded over a little bit. Instead of just being a straight piece right here, it's kind of folded over, so it's very comfortable on the thumb when you're pushing it over to disengage the lock. So it's really nice. It's comfortable. It looks cool. As far as the length, I believe it's about a 4-inch blade, and that will probably exceed the legal limit in some states. You have to check your local laws and everything. And of course, this is considered a stiletto in a lot of places, so that also may be a legality concern. So check your laws, but it's a good one. This one, I believe I paid, again, thereabouts of $12.99. Don't remember specifically. It might have been a little more, but I doubt it. And of course, shipping. This was online. So good option. I believe I got this one through Bud K. So another one I got from, I believe, Blade Play, the website. This one is the Excalibur. And the nice thing about this is another tip-up carry. However, this one, compared to the other that I just showed you, the Striker, this one, as you can see, has a backwards hook design, which is more like a real true wave feature, the Emerson type knives, where this will snag very easily on a pocket, and it deploys very easily. This is a spring-assisted model. They do have another one that is a non-assisted opening, but the same exact design with this. You got the you can either use this as a flipper, like that, just like some others, the Evo and such. And you have this thumb stud on here, which to me really is kind of worthless in a way. It really doesn't work too well for doing it. I mean, you can push it out that way, but it's far easier for me to either use the wave feature, just pulling it out of the pocket, and a lot of time while you're pulling it out, you don't even mean to, it'll just deploy. So you kind of have to be careful with that, but that or just the flipper here, it comes out very easy, very solid lockup. Of course, you can, I don't know how you can see the liner in there, liner lock. And the pocket clip on there is very nice. It's sturdy, has a nice smooth texture to the handle right here. And they have these handle scales in different colors. I just got green just because that's what they had in stock at the moment, and I really wasn't keen on pink or anything. So finish on there, it's, I don't know, not really super durable. It's 440 stainless steel. It did not come very sharp out of the box, but it does take an edge pretty well, and it holds up pretty well. So yeah, it's kind of stylish, kind of cool. Yeah. So, and I believe I paid, I want to say about anywhere from 15 to 17 on this, I believe. It's been a while since I got this, but sits kind of high in the pocket also. This one, you can see where it rides there. You've got a lot to grab a hold of, though. It does make it easier to pull out, especially considering that it's assisted and it's got that wave feature on there. It makes it easier, really, to deploy. If it was sitting farther down, it would be harder to use that way. So another good one. Now, kind of almost an honorable mention, the Bud K neck knife. This is $3. This is the fixed blade category here, but it's only about, I'd say maybe a 2.5-inch blade, maybe 3, if that, I doubt it. Tanto point. And this is a El Cheapo. I mean, it is a $3 knife. It is a chisel grind edge, which benefit of that is it's very easy to sharpen. You just drag it across here a few times with any kind of a stick sharpener or even just a piece of sandpaper, believe it or not, and then just one or two swipes on the back to just kind of level it off, and you're ready to go. Real easy to sharpen, holds an edge pretty well. I mean, it is, you know, very crude, but it's for what it is. I mean, $3. It's cheap as heck. It's strong. It's a solid piece of steel. Got these little plastic scales that they kind of put on here, which are, I mean, they held on good enough through some use. Then they have this little sheath that it comes with. It's molded plastic with this goofy whistle thing, and it does come with some, not even paracord, it's more like shoelace that they have threaded here. It's technically defined as a neck knife, but I mean, you could just as easily make any kind of a sheath for it, you know, out of leather. You can mount it horizontally, vertically, however you want to carry it. But the sheath, for what it is, it's okay. I'm not a neck knife person myself, so I either just carry it like this in my pocket. And if I want to, you know, pull out, cut something with it, I just kind of thumb it off there, and sheath stays in the pocket. And then when I'm done, I take the sheath out and like that. So pretty secure, very thin, super duper light, and for $3, super cheap. Another gripe on this too: this edge here with the grip on the thumb and on the forefinger here, they are like super rough when you first get it. So I ended up having to take a Dremel and just kind of smoothing that up a little bit, making them a little less aggressive, because I mean, just gripping it would leave imprints in your fingers. It was just very uncomfortable. But again, I mean, $3, you're not going to get a lot of refinement with it. So just kind of just throwing that one in there. Now, my absolute favorite as of this date, just barely makes it under the $20 limit. I actually paid more for this, but it was just because I had a gift card at the time. The Gerber Evo. Very, very, very nice knife. It's similar in a sense to the Smith & Wesson here, the SWA 5C or whatever, yeah, CP. Very similar in size, weight, thickness. They're both very thin, both very light. Very similar length of blade, design. I mean, they're almost copies. I'm sure that the Smith & Wesson was somewhat of a knockoff of this one. Differences, though, this has over the Smith & Wesson is that this has a flipper on the back here, which just makes it so easy to open. You just drag your finger over there and it comes out. Very easy opening. You really don't even have to loosen this up a lot after it's new. I mean, it opens very easy. And you do also have the same thumb stud right here, which, you know, it's not bad to use. It's not that hard, but I mean, I prefer this one myself. This means of opening it is just a lot easier. And just like the others, very secure liner lockup on this. I mean, you don't have to flip it open with a lot of force to get it to engage, and it engages fully, as you can see here. So it's a very, very well made knife for the money. You can get these at Walmart with a Tanto point. I believe it's got a combo edge on there for about $19.99 or $19.97, somewhere around there. Just under $20, but still makes the cut. And same pocket clip there. It sits pretty low in the pocket. Got a nice, I think it's a baked on titanium finish, I think is what they call it. And the steel, I mean, this right out of the box is razor sharp. I mean, I've hardly even had to touch up the blade on this, and it holds an edge very well. I have cut a lot of stuff with this, and it's just been a great, great EDC knife. Goes in and out of the pocket very well, easily, smoothly. You know, it's just the aluminum scales on this. This isn't plastic. This is aluminum scales on the sides. But slides right in there, comes out easy, deploys easy. Sharp, and then the little flipper also serves as kind of a finger guard so your hand doesn't slide up on there. And it's got some jimping on the back there, but it really doesn't do a whole lot for traction, but still, excellent, excellent knife. Highly recommend this to anybody. So anyways, there you have it. $20 or less, good for EDC. Good knives, cheap, wonderful. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. Thanks for watching.